Hello, 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 hello. Is it audible and visible? Hello, 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 hello. Is it audible and visible? Yeah, man. Is it good? I don't know who are these three new people you're watching. Guys, I'm just having fun. Who are you? I'm just testing out some features. This is good. Array. Oh, yeah, this is good. 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 Mm, this is good. This is good. Let's understand reading comprehension and how I approach reading comprehension as a whole. Okay, so I use a strategy which is known as octave. What is this? Find out the opinion, then the contradiction, then the tone of the passage, then avoid some stuff, verify the options, and then finally eliminate. What in the opinion? Find out if the author direct or indirect opinion, views, beliefs, etc. is available. Now, what is this contradiction? So contradiction are words, attention words like but, however, nevertheless, nonetheless, etc. Then the tone of the passage. See, the tone can be positive, it can be negative, it can be balanced, it can be neutral. There is a okay for every positive or a negative or a balanced tone of a passage, there will be an opinion. In case of a neutral passage, opinion might be there, might not be there. But if any opinion is not given directly, indirectly, then that has to be a neutral passage. Okay. We also call these positive passages as optimistic passages, and these negative passages as pessimistic passages. Now, when it comes to avoiding, what should we avoid? We should avoid Hello, hello, hello. I think now you can hear me properly. Let's see. Hello, hello, hello. I think now you can hear me. कुछ रंग प्यार के ऐसे भी So, we discussed opinion of a passage, key contradiction, location. Anyways, you want to find the main idea or the primary purpose. This is, guys, please ignore this shit. I'm just having fun. I want to test this, and there is only one account which is allowing me to do the live thing. There is some 24 hours verification shit. Either you can watch me do shit or just leave. But for the main idea of passage or the primary purpose passage, you need to test the opinion, the contradiction, and the tone of the passage. And primarily, the main idea is located in the almost all of the times. It's not saying that every time it has to be in the first paragraph. And if there is a contradiction word or the key contradiction word, you can literally find the main idea over there. Words like but, however, nevertheless, nonetheless. Suppose let's do some examples, man. Like, yeah, we can literally get live some example. GMAT. Yeah, we can do this. There's no issue as such. Let's just find this location, this text somewhere else where we can literally copy to here. There must be somewhere. It's not like it won't be there. प्यार के ऐसे भी I'll just find an RC from my stuff only. Let's do this. This is a very, very, very interesting passage. This PowerPoint shit, man. I don't even know how to just remove this shit. I need these stuff. How do I align this thing like it will be this is a very nice passage. I want to do this live. to enjoy, but how do I just get every line? Achha, I have to do something like this. ठीक है, एंजॉय करते हैं. I don't know who is watching. Who are these three people? Please text me. I know you know me. There is no one in this channel who doesn't know me. Please text me. I want to know what are you getting out of these shitty things which I am doing. It's not shitty, but yeah, not relevant to your life maybe. I see this is a very nice passage. Like, I can't find a better, more difficult and a more interesting passage than this as of now. So we'll do this only. If you're watching this, then you can literally type how can I just ease this process of make literally backing every line with using backspace and space. Wow, great. Now we are done. So, where consider compensatory. Oh, sorry. Just these economic leaders. Woodrow Wilson. So, Woodrow Wilson is next American president. I'll just switch I want this passage. Okay. From the current slide, I just want to know. Cool. Let's first read this, then we can go to GMAT Club and answer those questions. Okay, now. Where's my pen? Yeah. Black and red is fine. Yes. So Woodrow Wilson is an ex-American president, was referring to the liberal idea of economic market when he said that the free enterprise system. What is free enterprise system? Capitalism. Free enterprise system is basically capitalism. Is the most efficient. Woodrow Wilson was saying that capitalism is most efficient economic system. This is US. He's an ex-president of US, so it's quite anticipated. Maximum freedom means maximum productiveness. Our openness is to be the measure of our stability. So here he says that our openness to innovation, our openness to products, to competitions is what our stability is, where our stability rises. Fascination with this ideal has made the Americans defy the old world category of settled possessiveness. Okay, you want me to really take settled possessiveness, old world. What is old world? When it is written as quote, it is basically referring to the Europe, or you can literally say that British. Okay. In old world is referred to as Europe, and British, basically America when it was under their control. Okay. Fascination with this ideal. What is this ideal? This free enterprise system. This is an American ideal. Capitalism is America. America is capitalism. Old world has made this fascination with capitalism has made Americans defy the old world categories of settled possessiveness versus unsettling deprivation. Very nice line. Settled possessiveness. What do you mean by this? Settling. I have an house. I'll work for 30 years. I'll save up some money. Most of our Indian parents, what they do, and even they have got the sentiment from the Europe and British. That's why it is old world. So it's all about settled possessiveness. I'm done with my life. I'm done with my income. I have some money. I have to go to Lonavala, let's say, or let's say anywhere, wherever you're living. I need to buy a big villa and then settle over there versus unsettling deprivation. Unsettling deprivation means I don't need anything. For example, you see Mark Zuckerberg. Zuckerberg. He doesn't have a lot of fascination with money and let's say cars and all of these things, houses and all of these things. Most of these American entrepreneurs, they don't have this wish of settling down. They always want to uh, gain more and more. Okay, now the cupidity of retention versus the cupidity of seizure. Cupidity of retention is what we do, we Indians, we Europe, and cupidity of seizure. Seizure is basically seizing every movement you get, every aspect you get. You want to conquer over the world. That is what America does. It goes to various parts of the world, including that of the Middle East, including that of everywhere. Okay, let's say. Okay. What the fuck, pen? Pen, a status quo defended or attacked. Okay. The United States, it was believed, had no status quo ante. So, United States had no history. It was a fresh nation. It was discovered by. Okay. So basically, United States has no history apart from this revolution, this Europe, the British, the England, kings of England, colonies, and all of these things. They had no history. After the 4th July, they celebrate their independence on 4th July, right? So after 4th July, I think somewhere in 18 some 1700s, 80s or something like that. I don't remember, but it's 4th July, their independence. They got the independence. Before that, they had no. That is what they are, a fresh nation, and they had no status quo ante. They had no particular rules. Basically, status quo is rules or what is fixed in the society. There's some norm or something like that. Okay. Our only station was the turning of a stationary wheel spinning faster and faster. That's so. So the author is saying that United States only station, it was never stable. It never wanted to be stable. They just spin faster and faster, and we can see the result of it. We did not base our system on property but opportunity. So this is clearly this thing. Repetition of this thing. What is that called? Settled possessiveness versus unsettling deprivation. So settled possessiveness is property, whereas unsettling deprivation is opportunity. You're not settling. Whatever you coming your way, you're taking of that opportunity. Which meant we based it not on stability but on mobility. Very clear, self-explanatory. The more things changed, that is, the more rapidly the wheel turned, the steadier we would be. As much as progress we do, as much as rules we break, as much as opportunities we grab, the more steady we will be as a nation. Basically, we earn more money, more and more money. The conventional picture of class politics is composed of the haves who want stability, haves, and the have-nots. Okay. Who are these haves? Okay. The conventional picture. The conventional picture is here talking about what happened in Europe, in let's say India and European colonies everywhere, India, anything. Okay, Hong Kong. You see, Asians, Europeans, they mostly, whoever is having money, let's say our family, my father just wants to be at his level. Whatever he has earned, he knows he has a prediction of his income, of his pension, of his savings. He just wants to stay there. My mother also same. But in the case of, this is the conventional pictures. We are having money. We just want a stability. We just want a security to have that money. Whereas those in our countries, in British colonies, in India, in Asian countries specifically, the have-nots who want a bunch of instability and change in their income, change in their lifestyle, or something like that, and change in which to scramble the things they have not. Basically, they want a change in their life. They want to get everything which they don't have. But Americans, see, this conventional picture doesn't apply to Americans. But Americans imagine the conditions in which speculators, self-makers, and runners, these are the people who are the haves. These are basically haves, are always using the new opportunities given by our land. So, where it's just saying that the conventional picture of haves and have-nots, the stability and instability doesn't apply to America. Here, the haves, people who are already rich, people who are millionaires, they want more and more opportunities to earn more and more money. This has actually helped America. These economic leaders, okay, it's also in the bracket there is a statement which says front runners. Economic leaders are the front runners, would thus be mainly agents of change. So these economic leaders means these businessmen, these entrepreneurs, these public policy, these consultants, all of these people are the agents of change. In US, the non-starters were considered the ones who wanted stability, a strong referee to give them some position in the race. A strong referee means someone who will help you get a job. Okay, position in the race. Regulative hands to calm manic speculation. Regulative hands means basically a kind of a socialism where government will interfere in business. Government will help calm. Government will control excessive profits by what do you call businesses, etc., etc. An authority that can call things to a halt, begin things again to compensatory stages, starting lines. Okay. Basically, it is saying that in America, the non-starters, basically people who wanted a stable, secure life, who were like, let's say, workers, or let's say delivery guys, or let's say McDonald's, and all of these people, they wanted a simple life in which they wanted someone who can help them get a fine job. So they wanted government to help people. They wanted some free medicine, some free healthcare, from free education, or something like that, and staging lines. Okay, now reform. See this thing. There's a what do you call semicolon? No. Reform in America has been sterile. What a word. The author is being sarcastic here. That reform, so-called reform, it's saying that so-called reform, it is between apostrophes. So reform is between the apostrophes, basically meaning that the author is here totally sarcastic about the American reform. Has been sterile because it can imagine no change. Americans will never change. They will always be that turning of a stationary wheel, spinning faster and faster. Through the extension of this metaphor. No change except through the extension of this metaphor of a race, wider inclusion. Metaphor of a race. What is the metaphor of a race? Wider inclusion of competitors, a piece of action, as it were, for the disenfranchised. Okay. There is no attempt to call off the race. American public leaders, they never say that we need communism back. And whoever has said those things has never been an American leader, American president. Since our only stability is change, that's a very good statement, very good way of representing. America seems not to honor the quiet work that achieves the social interdependence and stability. So basically, author is criticizing Woodrow Wilson's idea that free enterprise system is the most efficient economic system. Capitalism is the best. The author is kind of a non-supporter of the capitalist form of economy. Okay, here it is totally talking about economy, not at all about the governmental aspects or the governance aspects of capitalism versus communism. Okay, since our only stability is change, America seems to Not honor the quiet work that achieves social demand. What are those work? We'll talk about it. Let's anticipate that in the upcoming sentences, we will be. There is no one now. Good guys. Okay, we will be anticipating that we'll talk about what is that quiet work that achieves this social interdependence and stability. There is in our legends no heroism of the office class. In our legends, what are these legends? Legends are stories in which you tell your sons, which you have been hearing throughout your childhood. Legends, right? The idealistic American dream, the capitalism, American people, American kids, they are always taught about how you can build businesses, how businesses have saved America, how businesses has helped America reach the number one position in the world, both in terms of quality of life as well as in terms of money, the economic position. Okay, there is no pride being an employee. Wilson asks for, okay, there's a bracket. Wilson asks for a return to the time when everyone was an employer. See that. Why do you think that it is being mentioned here? Why do you think this? Is it really possible that everyone was an employer? Why do you think it is being mentioned? Because America, it is America. They want every one of their everything to on this earth to be American. They want to control the whole world. So every business leaders should be an American and the employees should be non-Americans. That is the system, Woodrow Wilson, and the author is actually criticizing it. There has been no boasting about social workers. They are merely signs of systems failure, of opportunities denied, not taken, of things to be eliminated. Basically, Americans say that we need to eliminate social work as a thing because we are a powerful nation, we are a economically thriving nation, we can help all each and every citizen of ours, each and every resident refugee in our country to live a happy life without being dependent on social work or social workers or NGOs for that matter. They're merely signs of the system's failure. Americans consider that our system is very good, but there are certain things which are not in our control, and some of them are social work and NGOs. Of opportunities denied, not taken. Okay, we did that. We have no pride in our growing interdependence, and the fact that we have no pride in our growing interdependence, in the fact that our system can serve others, that we are able to help those in needs. Empty boasts from the past make us ashamed of our present achievements. Make us try to forget them or deny them or move away from them. At the end of there is no honor, but in the Wonderland race, we all must run. All trying to win, none winning at the end, for there is no end. Because it is turning of a stationary wheel which is faster and faster. American economic system has no end. That race, that metaphor of a race has no end, and everyone is expected to be running on that race, so that we all can actually have fun. Now comes the main pack. We can go about solving the questions. It's time or practice. The primary purpose of the passage is to make a case for importance of skillful. No nonsense. With contrast in the romantic and novelistic. Oh, okay. Hold on. We can go here. The passage contains Woodrow Wilson passage, right? The primary purpose of the passage is to criticize the inflexibility of American economic mythology, contrast the old world versus new world economic ideologies, challenge the integrity of traditional. No, we are not talking about the political leaders. at all champion those Americans whom the author deems to be neglected. No, that's just a part of it. That's just the end of it. Suggest a substitute. He is not suggesting any substitute. We started off comparing the old world, world of settled possessiveness versus the unsettling deprivation, and that is how we came about American economic system. So that option is criticize the inflexible. Sorry, guys. However, the passage old world values were based on ability, property. That's it. There's no talking about it. In the context of the author's discussion on regulating change, which of the following could be most probably referred as a strong referee in the United States? This thing, strong referee. The non-status were the ones who wanted a stability. Strong referee gives them a position in the race. Basically, someone who can give you a job. And here, a school principal. That would be too generic. Political theorist. I don't think he can give jobs per se. A social workers can give you food. A government inspector, see, a federal court judge. He can pass decisions which will help you. The author sets off the word reform with quotation marks. We talked about that, right? Sarcasm. Emphasize the departure of its concept, show his support for a systematic program of change, underscore the flexibility and flexibility. No. He's saying that United States society is very inflexible, not flexible, basically. So ignore this question. Ignore this. Indicate that the term was no. I said that reform in US has not been fundamental. We never talked about fundamentals. See, reform, according to the past authors, is very fundamental. He wanted a real change. But here he is saying that reform in America has been sterile because there is little reform. Okay, so this has to be B. Sorry. Okay. It can be inferred from the passage that the author most probably thinks that this, giving this piece of action is compassionate if an innovative program for genuine social reform. What was that option C? Hey, am I marking all of these wrong? No, impossible. These are wrong options. Innovative program for genuine social reform. Hey, let's do this question then. 155. Hey, am I marking all of these wrong? No, impossible. These are wrong options. Bachelor contain information about that would answer which of the following questions. What techniques have industrialists used to manipulate a free market? We never talked about how industrialists manipulated the market. Did we? No. In what? So option 1 is gone. This option is gone. I have a pen here also, right? Yeah. So 1 is gone, and wherever 1 is there, cancel it. In what ways the new world and the old world economics policy is similar? We never talked about the similarities between the new world and the old world. We always talked about the differences between old world and the new world, and the differences are here: settled possessiveness versus property versus opportunity, the cupidity of retention versus cupidity of seizure, power, the status quo was defended or attacked. Okay. So the second option is also gone. So second is gone. Second is here. It's gone. Finally, we are left with 3. We can just ignore this 3, and this has to be a correct answer. I'm sure there's a mistake in GMAT club. I need to check the answer somewhere else. Pretty sure about this. So Yeah, see only that GMAT club has some really wrong answers. It is impossible that I make so many mistakes. ठीक है, it's a good session. Talked about so much. So let's just revise what we did. Use a black pen just to mark all of these things. So, how did we go about looking at an RC? We started to find whether there's an opinion of the author, whether it be indirect or direct, whether the author is supporting someone or something, is supporting some notion, some views, uh, some of his own opinions, whether explicit or implicit. We need to find those things. Secondly, if there is some contradictory words, which can they have, you need to put real attention to contradictory words like but, however, nevertheless, nonetheless. These actually they show what show change in view, findings. Suppose literally there can be passage which says historians have been considering feminists as uh, let's say historians have been exploring feministic theories in certain way, but recent scholarships or recent findings show that historians' approach towards feminism was very wrong, and they need to develop something like that. So, where do you see that change? That but what will actually show you there's some change in, or that's in what do you say, defense, uh, attacking to the primary point of the passage. Okay, now when it comes to tone of the passage, it can be optimistic, which is positive, it can be pessimistic, which is negative, it can be balanced, which is plus and minus both. Okay, neutral. See, what's the difference between a balanced passage and a neutral passage? What can we discuss here? We can discuss here. Okay, balanced, neutral. Okay, let's say we are talking. I'm giving my opinions about. I'm giving an opinion about U.S. foreign policy, or let's say India's foreign policy. I'm telling that Indian foreign policies has this positive points and this negative point and this negative. This is actually a balanced passage where I am telling three or let's say five or let's say anything positive points about the Indian foreign policy, and I'm telling two negative points about the foreign policy. So there's a combination of plus and minus, optimism, not optimism per se, positive and negative points both. That is called a balanced passage. But whereas in terms of neutral passage, in the same example, let's say I'm just a news reporter, I'm a journalist who is reporting on certain things, and I'm literally writing that a certain person, let's say UN Secretary General, is saying that India's foreign policy has this positive points, whereas Indian foreign minister of external affairs is saying that China's foreign policy is this. I'm just literally stating whatever other person is saying. I'm not putting forward my own opinion. So this is clearly a neutral passage. Whereas the passage which we did right now here, do I have my pen working? Yeah, let me get the statement. Let me get a different color. We can get a blue. Yeah. See here. First though, it is a totally opinionated passage. The author starts with saying that Woodrow Wilson considered capitalism as the most efficient economic system, but throughout the passage he has been
criticizing this throughout the passage. He has been criticizing this. It is saying, see here examples like reform, this exclamatory reform, sarcastic statements about the passage. Reform has been in America has been sterile, and there is no change. Uh, uh, and this is final. There is no honor, but in the Wonderland we all must run, and there is none winning at the end. There is a treadmill. Let's say treadmill. There is no end to a treadmill's length, right? The track, right? So something like that. The author is clearly having an opinion that Woodrow Wilson's statement that capitalism or the free enterprise system, which we call this right now, is good. Author clearly disagrees with Woodrow Wilson's idea or capitalism per se. Now, so that is that's not a balanced passage. That's a clear negative passage. Criticism we call it like criticism. Okay, what is the difference between criticism and critique? Okay, criticism is negative, whereas critique is balanced. Okay, when we talk about movie reviews, okay, those journalists who do movie reviews, they are called as critiques, right? So, so those movies, they actually state, let's say a movie reviewer is giving a movie 3.5 stars, right? So that in that movie, that review, he or she will definitely state the positive points about the movies, and he will also state about negative points about the movies. So that is something which we call as critique. Whereas criticism is something which we saw here. Listen, whoever it can be a journalist, it can be an opinionated writer who is writing totally against capitalism or Woodrow Wilson. Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you. I'll be ending this live stream